An all-new edition of the Horus Heresy is here, so we've invited Captain Pardo from SN Battle Reports onto the channel to discuss with us how we, as 40k players, might get started in this new edition. We also discuss with him the controversial decisions that seem to have been made at launch and how this will affect new and old players alike. AKA The Bard, and today I am joined by Mr. Lawrence Baker.
Hello.
How are you doing this fine day?
I'm very excited.
But I'm very excited too, because we have a very special guest. It's Captain Pardo!
Hello everyone, or Praetor Pardo, because
excuse
we're talking
me,
30k
yes.
today, so let's go Praetor Pardo.
Exactly, you need to pull me up on this. I'm going to be using my barbarian language from the 10,000 years of strife, you see. But yeah, so we today are talking about 30k. There's a whole new edition of 30k, which is very exciting. We obviously did a little bit of a secret army reveal for Beards, and he's now incredibly excited about that. More on that later. But yes, we wanted to get you on the show because we want to talk about, we are 40k fans primarily, we do 40k, but Heresy is something that really excites us, and you over at SN mainly do 30k.
Yeah, we're only 30k now, so only 30k channel now.
So you love 30k?
I love 30k.
You absolutely love it. So I guess from our perspective as big 40k fans, what makes you love 30k? And as you said, you now mainly do 30k. What pulled you away from the loving embrace of Warhammer 40,000?
It's going to be controversial.
That's okay, we're at the start.
I believe that 30k is still the classic war game, which I fell in love with. I think it represents a war game much better, and I think it represents what I used to fall in love when I was as a kid. So if you opened up those White Dwarfs and saw the terrain that they were playing on and how they played it, it more represents that than anything else. And I think you guys are doing a great job still getting that vibe into the battle reports when it still looks like it's not those cardboard
L-shapes.
We try.
But obviously it brings more the narrative to the game. It looks more like a narrative game. You normally play more in a narrative sense. And to be honest, that's why I started Warhammer. And I think that the channel SN is built better for a game like 30k than 40k itself.
Yeah, that's your, like, I guess your, like you said, like the passion in wargaming in general, tabletop, is that traditional wargame element.
Yeah.
So I came to 40k kind of quite late in the. I was always interested in 40k, loved the lore, loved the models, always dabbled in the painting, but I essentially came in an 8th. So I never really fully experienced. A lot of people will say sort of 7th is quite.
Yeah, you missed the scattered ice and you missed the template.
Yeah, but I think you came in a really good place.
It was a good time.
I think 8th edition was a really, because you skipped the worst part of 7th and you went straight into wow, this is really good. A really good big fresh air, of an edition. So you came in a good time.
Went from psychic Death Stars to a refresh.
It was awful. You missed bad days. It was
I've
awful.
heard some horror stories.
There was sky hammers falling and riptides just moving everywhere.
The Korean
killing.
detachments.
It was disgusting times.
We had a lot of fun.
We had.
Retreats.
We did. Yeah, we did.
But 7th edition we did have some fun as well. But it did get ludicrous. All the scat pack jet bikes and.
If you played it in a friendly way, they were still fun.
Oh yeah.
There were so many ways of the game was just broken at that point, and it was just a crazy place to be because everything was crazy.
Oh, madness! Yeah, because you guys go way back because you also do the Sadly, no retreat stuff, don't you?
We're still not friends though. We just know each other for a long time. So that's about it.
I always call you my little brother, and you call me big brother.
Big brother.
But like any siblings, there's bickering.
There's some mild bickering. I like this.
It's great because look, it represents what the hobby is for me as well. So it's not only about Warhammer and playing things, it's about making relationships and meeting people whilst you go. And this is the perfect representative of that, right? We started playing Warhammer. The first time we spoke, it was we didn't even speak. We spoke online, didn't we?
Yeah, on Facebook.
And now it's I've gone to his wedding, he's come to my wedding, we're going on holidays together, so it's crazy, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's such a good point actually, isn't it? It's that togetherness of bringing people together through the shared experience,
exactly,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because it's the No Retreat you'd host that have done it.
Yeah, that's how we met. Yeah. That was basically how we met. So do you want the full story?
Well, We'll save the full story because we're also going to be having you on for our backstage show and on demand.
That's a cool story.
And that'll be like the rated R version.
Yeah.
With warts and all.
That's the cool story. Only the cool people can hear it.
Exactly. Yeah, all the dirty laundry. Salacious. But yeah, so No Retreat then is that's that's 40k.
It's now transitioned into 30k. It actually started as 40k and 30k. So the channel, for the very start, we actually played both 30k and 40k. That's how the channel started. Obviously, it got to a point where I had to make a decision of making one. I just didn't have time, manpower, or anything. So I had to make we had to make the decision. And like you guys are like 10 times bigger. Like I've come into this room and I'm like, wow. I told Lawrence, like, I think like having like 3 lights in my studio and an overhead camera, I'm like, I'm a YouTuber. No, I'm not. So yeah, we started as 30k, 40k. This is why we've ended up, and I moved on to 40k just because I just didn't have the manpower all the time to do it, and I focused on one. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I should have carried on in 30k at that point, but these things happen. So and now. The events are both 40k. Well, 40k for a very long time. We did like 2 30k events at the very start, and now obviously the channel switched to 30k, so the No Retreat switched to 30k as well.
Makes sense, yeah. And then obviously now there's a whole new edition of 30k. So this is where the real meat and potatoes comes in. So we are obviously we've had a look at the rules. We're like, ooh, this is all new and exciting. But as someone that's obviously gone from the previous edition into the new edition. First of all, I guess, what can you expect going in?
I don't know when this is out, but there's probably riots outside Games Workshop right now.
Amazing.
Because there's the good and the bad, right?
Okay.
There's the good and the bad and the ugly. And
which you've got a video
which
out.
I've got a video which is called
The
Good, the Ugly, the Bad and the Good. I've repeated just because I wanted a happy ending.
You want a little cherry on top of the end.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't want to go the reverse because then it was bad. But it's just, shall we go into it? Shall we go into it?
I think we should. I mean,
I'll
preface this by saying it's quite interesting because like we've not read the rules. Like we've looked over the rules. But both Fletcher and Joe have read the rules because you're going to be playing 2 games.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you can expect one of the games here on preview. One of the games is going to be on demand, which is really exciting. But we've looked at the rules sort of like without any with rose-tinted glasses on in a way because we've not compared it to the previous edition because we never really played the previous edition. So we're looking at it fresh going, oh, this is really cool. But like when you've got nothing to compare it to,
exactly.
This is where it's going to be really interesting talking to you.
So I think like you've just mentioned now, if someone's coming into Horus Heresy right now, it's a great time to come because the rule set is really good. Like rules writers, playtesters, you've done a great job. They've done a really great job. We're really happy with that. And I think I'm starting it with a positive and we'll go into a negative as well. I think as a rule set, it is great. They've taken anything that was there that really we didn't need has just gone out, clankiness out.
Nice.
There's no feel bad moments. I think they've really focused on that. So there's no real, which we've talked about many times, which is something that we've never wanted in the hobby. And I feel that they've pushed for those kind of things. There's no feel bad moments. And things that they've added in are like, I like it. Obviously, it's never going to be a perfect edition. There's always going to be things that we're not happy about. You're going to house rule. We were big in the house rule scene for second edition. We actually did these really good house rules which were used internationally. It was great to see. I'm sure that will happen again.
Of course.
But it's something that happens in every single game system, not only Games Workshop, but any, So it's always going to happen.
There's a whole WTC format. They're not even
playing
exactly.
format. So it's always something that happens. So that's the good thing. I think that if you're a enthusiast that is going into 30k, you're in a really good place right now, especially if you haven't got an army. That's even better.
Oh, okay.
But if you are a second edition or first edition, it's a much more different transition to this edition than it has been in the past. Personally, I think it's a complete different game. Even though the basics of the core of ballistic skills still there, weapon skills are there, templates are still there.
Does it still feel like 7th edition, 40k?
No, for me it feels like a sort of mix. I'm going to say 40k. If you're a 30k or Heresy enthusiast, don't get scared that I'm mentioning 40k.
Okay.
There's gimmicks to it that are 40k related.
Okay.
So I've played 40k. The 30k player that hasn't played 40k doesn't know what I'm talking about, but there's things that I'm like, I'm sure there's a rules tester or rules writer that has come from the 40k department. It feels like that. And I still think they're good.
Okay.
But those mechanics were never in 30k.
Okay.
So it feels very different. And if you are thinking that you're going to get the new edition and start straight away, it's not.
So there's a bit of relearning to
We've been like, we seriously had like 10 days, full days, like 14-hour days of playing the game because we just couldn't get it. Some mechanics we just couldn't get. So it was like a lot. When we went from first to second, it was like, we were straight in.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It's a lot, there's pockets within pockets, and which is good because I think that the majority of players that play Heresy want a game. They always say the adults game because it's not as simple as other mechanics, you know, which is a good thing.
Course. Yeah.
Like 40k now has. So that's still there. But it's definitely a complete different overhaul for me, even though the basics are still there.
So it kind of feels like a different beast in a way. Like even though it's got that familiarity, it feels kind of like you're having to relearn or sort of unlearn things from a previous edition.
There's a lot to go through.
Is it things like the cool, like, and they introduced cooldown, like a new morale thing,
so
challenges?
So for example, I just mentioned that things had gone in the sense of reactions were really powerful. So reactions, just think about them as stratagems, right? They're more or less the same thing, happens differently, and there's less of than stratagems. So reactions were there, very powerful. Remember that first edition, there was no reactions. Suddenly they put these reactions in, which was great because it allows your opponents to always be playing both his player and the opponent's player. By reacting back to what you're doing, right? They were a bit too powerful. This edition, they're still there, but they are now less powerful, and they are also, you basically have less reactions to do a 10. So you really need to think about when you're spending.
And a reaction is like a type of an Overwatch, or like a reaction move or a reaction
for example,
shooting.
so you're always reacting to your opponent. So if you move towards me, I can move a different direction.
Right.
Cool.
If you shoot me, I can shoot you back. If you charge me, I can do separate things. So it's just, and every Legion has like a special reaction.
That's cool. Yeah.
So if we go into, Night Lords, which I know you're a fan of, if you are about to charge someone, you can actually take a route test. So you route, you basically fall back.
You spook them.
You spook. They basically run back, but then they come back as if they didn't do that. So every Legion has like a special reaction.
Little reaction. I guess there's also, I think that's one of the things that we as people that I guess are, putting our heads over the fence. Oh, that looks exciting.
I'm telling you, this game is like perfect for you guys.
Oh, I like it. So is
perfect
it that?
For you guys. I've told you before.
You've been trying to convince me for a while.
Yeah.
Which look, the Armies, I will just preface this now. Obviously, like to say, you don't need to convince me to play 30k. Like, it looks incredible. It's the heart of 40k in many ways. So, like from that historical wargaming point of view, it looks like a war game. It sounds like, it feels like a war game. It's the narrative. It's where 40k evolved from.
Yes.
I love all of that. For us, it's like, it's just the resource and covering it. Like 18 legions from scratch plus bonuses. It's just a really big
We just ticked that box, so we've got the 18 legions now.
You've got all 18?
Amazing.
What was the last one you needed?
Word bearers, because DC left.
Of course, because
DC left us. And so we had to basically get one commissioned.
Well, he still comes back and
he still comes back. I'm just joking.
He moved
him back.
I'm just joking. DC.
We
so, and then we've got the Mechanicum, the Knights, the Solar Auxilia, which is guard.
Yes.
Not seen your new word.
It's not guard. Militia's guard.
Yeah.
And Solar Auxilia. Benji's painted them gorgeous.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see that.
That's good.
They're for me like an iconic. They're like the bad guys for me.
Yeah.
Like it's like a same with 40k. If you get
the
a word bearers army in 40k,
right.
it's like a snowflake army. You're like,
very rarely seen.
I think they're really cool.
And then there's the Demons of the Runestone. Which are basically demons, but obviously called different.
Is it a proper army? List? Like, do you have variety?
Yeah, there was variety.
30K?
Yeah, there was variety. Obviously, the lesser demon is all the lesser demons into one, so you can play them as in. But there's a lot of like extra characters and stuff like that. You've got Gabandra, which was a very notable big demon that fought against Samus as well. So they're all there. They've got models as well, so we've just painted them up, so we're excited.
What do you use for the line for Demons of the Ruinstorm? 40k models?
So they're called lesser demons, and that is, I just use bloodletters, but you can use any of the smaller, so plague bearers,
so
demons
the plastic 40k.
So you could play your armies. I can see, I've seen a couple here. you can play them as
so you can jump straight in if you've got like Demons War.
You can go from a 40k, if you play 40k and you have a Demon's Army, you can go straight in with Demon. There's no rules there though, so don't get that excited. I think they've previewed a timetable of when they're coming out. I think they said November.
Okay.
There's a PDF coming.
Okay.
Not the book yet, but look, it means that in a couple of months' time you can play them.
Yeah.
Today's video is brought to you thanks to the support from our on-demand members. It's due to their amazing support that we're able to produce shows just like this one. As well as supporting the channel, our members get access to at least 2 additional battle reports every week, as well as full codex reviews, painting tutorials, our weekly on-demand exclusive talk show, all of our competitive 40k league games, and so much more. And we add to our library of content every single week. You can join our on-demand community today by downloading our app or heading to the website. And right now we have an introductory offer for new customers, so there's never been a better time to join on demand. Thanks for watching. Let's get back to the show.
From a new player's perspective, I guess you're expecting kind of, because I've always been intrigued by 30k, same as like when Old World came around, for me it was like a different beast entirely. So is that a similar kind of thing of that level of, there's a lot more going on phase to phase than 40k, which is not simple, but has been simplified in that sense, which I think what they said at the start of 10th. Yeah. 30k has a lot more like reactions, and there's more, your toolkit's a bit more diverse, I guess, maybe?
Yeah, it's definitely a more intricate game, 100%, like more intricate. Like, I haven't played 40k maybe a year now, but when I was playing both 10th edition and I could feel that one was just streamlined, easier to play, which isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Games are faster, things die faster, and then I would go into Heresy and it's just like, it's much more intricate. There's rules upon rules, like I said, pockets within pockets. Yeah. And I am quite in, that's something I like. Yeah. That was pulling towards me. I like those mechanics of having those extra rules here and there. So that's another part of why I pushed that way more than the...
Makes sense. So I guess like, if you're a 40k fan that kind of wants to evolve, because I guess it's very similar aesthetically, if you want to evolve into it being more like a traditional, almost, not quite historical, although it is weirdly in its own way, like that kind of war game with that more, not necessarily depth, but complexity and intricacy, isn't it? Is a great phrase. That is kind of for you, I guess, if you're looking to experiment with that. Now, you did say there'd be riots.
Yeah, yeah.
Now,
what's the bad side?
I understand there's a controversy with some of the changes.
So, what day is this dropping?
This is Wednesday. I think it should be out on Wednesday.
Okay, so there's riots for sure.
So you guys would have seen the reveal video that Beard's now got an Iron Warriors army. So this Saturday you can expect Iron Warriors versus Imperial Fists. So you bought Imperial, so a classic matchup.
Yep.
And then the following Tuesday will be Sons of Horus versus Salamanders.
Yes. Secret report.
Secret report, Special scenario,
So, right. So let's go back to the bad, the ugly and the bad. Big points. So the game's lost a lot of like flavor in the sense that there was something called Rights of War, which I don't know if you want. So Rights of War was how you built an army. And you could build them as a force organization chart, like you've always done, but Rights of War gave you extra flavor. For example, they gave you a army round rule, where things came out of transport. So you're a fan of Templar Brethren, right?
I am indeed.
Yeah. So there was a Templar assault Right of War where you could build, where Brethren would become troops, their elites. They would become troops, so you would have easier to have them in your army. And when they came out of a Land Raider, they would get Furious Charge, or extra strength, or extra attacks. I can't remember what it was. So those were like the flavor of how you built lists. That's gone. Completely gone.
I'm taking to the streets.
So, and for the 30k and Horus Heresy enthusiast, that is a big miss. Okay, so a lot of people are there for the flavor and for the narrative. So they've suddenly gone like, this is off. You now have a Right of War, which is just a picture of extra boxes for the force organization, which don't grant you anything. All it grants you is ways of building your force differently. It doesn't bring anything, which I thought was a bit like lackluster and something that they could have pushed a bit more, in the sense of, this is how you build it, but you also get this little tiny rule where you can do, you know,
a little bit of something cool.
Something,
right?
Just sprinkle a bit of.
Is it like a force? Sorry to cut you off. Is it like a force organization chart now?
So I think we'll talk a bit about the force organization. I think there's a good point to talk. So now it's like the building process is like a really big headache at the beginning, because you have to like unlock different detachments depending on what you're taking.
Okay.
So it's not as easy as I'm taking HQ, I'm taking this, I'm taking this. Now it's like, okay, the first thing I would do if you're now building list away is I would take what I want to take and then go work backwards.
Okay.
So instead of saying I want this HQ and I want these troops, I would go, this is my whole army. How do I unlock this army?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So, to unlock this army, I need these 3 detachments. What do I need to open these 3 detachments?
Yeah.
Okay, so I need 3 HQs. So I need to have these 3 HQs, or I need to have a Centurion, which opens up 2. So it really we can talk for this about hours. But, I think you get the hang of what I'm saying. So it's an unlocking game. So there's a lot of tax being paid points-wise because you have to have this to unlock this. There's other ways of doing it. Like if there's a prime slot, you can open up. You can get something from another detachment which you don't even have to open anymore and go like, this Leviathan is going into this detachment now.
I think from reading it, again in my little 40k monkey brain, it was like logistical benefit or something. You could give someone a thing and then they could bring something in.
When we started, I would just want to like flip the table. I'm like, what is going on? But now like after like 3 weeks of doing it, it's like, okay, now I get the hang of it. It does take long, and please, whoever's listening that does do apps, please do an app for us so it doesn't take us 45 minutes to write it on paper. Because I haven't heard Games Workshop doing that. I would love if they take the shot. Like the 40k app is amazing.
It is great.
It's really good.
They need to do it for Old World as well.
They need to do
Heresy and Old World need.
I don't think they'll do it, but if they do it, it's amazing. If not, if anybody just does it for us.
Someone out there.
Seriously, like pen and paper back to 12 years ago and just like write it. And
so forgive me, like Battle Scribe then is obviously just redundant.
Battle Scribe is dead.
It's dead,
though.
right?
It's dead even in 40k. I think it's just
because we are using the app.
So we used to use new recruits.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is Old World as well. I think a lot of people use it.
There's an Old World builder as well. Yeah.
But obviously, the change of how armies are built is going to be a long process for them to figure how that is
structurally, they're going to have
structural is completely different to how their app actually works. So you build this list, you puzzle up. It's a puzzle.
Okay. Is list building, now that you sort of worked it out, because obviously any time you're learning something, it's like
and change is always terrifying.
Yeah, it's like always not fun. Like I'm the same as you. I'm like, I can't stand this. But once you've learned it, now that you've played how many games now?
So between a team, I think we're on 20 games. I'm on 12 third edition games in total, and I'm going to have 2 more this week. So
amazing.
15,
okay, so that's your cue. Go to SM Battle Report, subscribe if you're into 30k. That's the place to go.
Spot.
But my question to you is, now that you've had that much experience building lists with different armies, are you enjoying the list building process?
I'm enjoying it, but it's still very slow. When it's time. When there's a time factor, which you guys, you know how it works, right? You have 2 hours to do something and suddenly the list is taking you 45 minutes and you haven't even started recording. It's like, wow. So I'm resorting to going like the day before and building lists because it isn't as simple as it is. Is it a bit too much? Right now, my brain's saying like, maybe it could have been a bit easier.
Yeah.
But it's still very early days. So I've said that in many of my videos, it's still early days. Yeah. You get used to everything, right? We got used to 8th edition which was completely. So I'm enjoying it, but it's still like a slow process to do.
So I guess for a lot of people that have, because you mentioned something earlier about if you are getting into Heresy, obviously you can start now and build up a new list. But if you've already got a list, like a Heresy army, obviously I guess that structural change might throw some things out of whack that then potentially might invalidate some of your list building, as well as other things, as I understand it.
Definitely. I think the most important factor is that the main units that unlock is HQs. So I think you will see more HQs in lists, which are now called high commands and commands. And so most people will definitely be painting a couple of more force commands and commands.
Makes sense. Just to unlock those extra things. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. And then, as I understand it, there's a few confusing decisions that have been made on existing models and their loadouts, which, as I understand it, is problematic for a large. This might be the main cause of the riots, shall we say?
Yeah. This is the main riot. So 30k and Horus Heresy has always been like a hobby-based game. I think it's
absolutely.
Like. I think I can say it, that I think Horus Heresy and 30k is the most hobby-driven game Games Workshop have.
Yeah.
I very, very rarely, if none at all, have ever seen a badly painted, rushed Horus Heresy army.
Yes.
Seriously, I don't recall seeing a rushed Horus Heresy army. Like everything's like, wow, wow, wow. Everything's so customized, beautiful paint jobs. They take a lot of time to do it. And again, this is one of the things that made me push into 30K. I love that kind of thing. That's why I started No Retreats. Now, when you get an edition and you stop allowing people to take loadouts, to take HQs like you want to take them, it becomes a really bad burden on everybody.
On the existing fan base, right?
Like it's hard for me and hard for you guys because we obviously have a partnership with Games Workshop, but I've always been truthful. I think that the people need to hear what there are, and I've already stated that they've done a great job with the rule set, but that part of what they've done is a no-no for me. I hope that they can maybe fix it because I think that they're really, by this, I don't know what's going to happen, but I can smell what's going to happen. And it's going to be bad.
So what have they done then?
So for example, Centurion consoles, right? So we've got the Praetor, which is like the chapter master.
Absolutely.
We've got the Centurion, which is like a captain, just trying to think of things 40K related. And then you've got consoles, which are like chaplains, heralds,
like champions,
vigilators, champions, exactly. You've got all those, which are called consoles, which is before was an upgrade of a Centurion. Now they're not. Now they're separate. So all those before, you've always been able to build a list around. If you played White Scars, your chaplains were in bike. Your heralds were in bike. Your champions were in bike. You played Blood Angels, your chaplain had a jump pack.
Yes.
Your herald had a jump pack. Your vigilator had. Well, you wouldn't put a jump pack on vigilator, but if you played anything, right? You wanted to build a Terminator army. You would have those consoles as Terminator armor. Now they can only be built with Artificer armor, which is what Games Workshop now have just basically sold, right? They've now done new models. The new plastic models are all Artificer armor. That is, for me, it's like, it burns my soul.
I can see the issue.
So the kit doesn't exist. They've done, because they did the same with 40K, and it sucks.
Now in 40K, it really felt like it wasn't as bad. Like for us, yes, but for 40K, everything's just evolving so fast and moving so fast, and people are always building lists and building differently and playing more competitively. So they were like, yeah, okay, this hurts people.
And I think as well, like you said, my understanding with Heresy, because it's such a hobby-driven army, there's a lot of emphasis put on WYSIWYG and making sure, like, well, my champion in Terminator is in a Terminator armor, has a power fist, has a shield. So to just be like, you can't have that loadout anymore, it's devastating.
It's devastating. It's like WYSIWYG is like WYSIWYG is like a strict rule in Heresy. And a lot of people like that they're converting and building models specifically for that, right?
A lot of time and effort into
like
that,
in the last 2 weeks, seriously, it's been, I saw someone post a chaplain, I think it was, on a bike and said like 200 hours later of painting. And I'm like, I was like, my soul was just went. I'm like, seriously, and the amount of love people give in that hobby, I've never seen it before. So to have things that you've painted not being able to be used, I'm sure the community will work around house rules and stuff to allow it. But I really think that Games Workshop should step back and say like, okay, maybe we messed up. Let's fix it, because it's an easy fix with PDFs. They've always had exemplar PDFs, which are like units that don't normally exist, and things. Maybe they come. Maybe people are
on the day while they have all these.
Maybe they do come. But other units, special units, which you've always had. So let's talk about one of the units that has broken my heart the most, Varaga. I'm a big Space Wolf fan, a big Space Wolf player in Heresy, and we've got these Varaga Elite Terminators, which there was a lot of fuss when they came out, because like there's a lot of like things that aren't modeled very well, and I've got them with like Thunderhammer and Frost Claw. That's the best loadout. Like you go into infantry, you go into big stuff and you're hitting them with the hammer. I can't have any of those two arms. So my guys are now like this. And
you can't have either weapon?
Either weapon.
Oh no.
So what can they take now?
They can only take what it brings, which is a combi bolter and a frost axe, which no one used. You know, so just times that by 100, because 100 units with that type of thing. So there is ways to work it. So coincidentally, I still had the bolters, so I've taken the frost claws off. I put the bolters on. I had a same cataphracti herald, which I can't now use because it's a cataphracti and heralds can't have, and I've just made them into a command squad. But it's a lot of work. And when you have like a studio like this, which we have one in Jib with Heresy, And you're now spending a lot of money on getting commissioned, and you know how expensive
and every single army is going to have that equivalent thing,
yeah,
right?
It's like, seriously, it was, we actually did a photo, that I don't know if it's out now already, and we actually placed everything on the table that we couldn't use, that was illegal, and it was far too much. Like, we were like, okay, I think that's that, and we could hear Kayra in the background, no, this now. I'm like, oh no.
More's being put on the pie.
So it's horrible. So if we're feeling it, like, there's a lot of people that are feeling it, and to be honest, it makes sense that they are not happy about it.
Yeah, of course, though, yeah.
Do you think, I mean, first of all, I'm going to say, that sucks.
Yeah.
Whether they did it in 40k, it sucks. Like, Vanguard veterans, all that sort of, I've also felt that pain. So it sounds like you've got like legions of Terminators with the wrong
I've got
loadout now.
40 Tartarus Terminators which have illegal builds.
And do you wonder, do you wonder if, I mean, I hope that it means that they'll release new plastic kits with these characters, like a Chaplain with jump pack, but the problem is it might take...
If we go into the Tartarus Terminator armor, it doesn't make sense that they can't have a power fist when the kit brings power fists.
So the power fists are in the kit? And
the power fists are in the kit at the moment, so all that makes me think is like, okay, we're going to have a new Tartarus.
So the Terminators make two different types of Terminators?
No, so there's Tartarus and there's Cataphracti. Right. One's like a lighter armor to the other.
Yes.
And they're both different plastic kits?
They're both different plastic kits. The Tartarus have the power fist. I don't even think they have power weapons, which is what you can now kit them in. So that makes me just push, there's a new kit coming, but release the kit before you release the rules.
Yeah,
also, literally, that's not an old kit.
Yeah, literally on the website right now.
It's not that old, and it's not resin either, it's plastic.
Yeah, if you go on the website right now, Legion Tartarus Terminator Squad, they all have power fists in the picture.
They can't have power fists?
They can have lightning claws, which the kit brings, but they can't have power fists.
I've
got 40.
Do you think that's a mistake?
Yeah, do you think it's a bit of an oversight?
Would that be an FAQ thing? Oh, sorry,
so.
we missed this?
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
I don't think so. I think there's a new kit coming, but I would have published, if I knew that was coming, I would have put the kit out so people don't riot even more.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess what we can hope is that there's sort of a day one, here's all, like, we are aware of this.
Yeah, just do like a heavy Tartarus Terminator armor.
Yes.
Where you can have power fist, but you get the heavy keywords, which gives you negatives,
Yeah, something like that, just to sort of patch it at least for now, yeah.
Listen.
Yeah, listen to us, yeah. Because maybe it's that thing, like, say with, I guess the issue as well, like you were saying with Vanguard Vets is a great example. They were just given heirloom weapons. But that's not the soul of 30k, is it? You should have, if you've got a Volkite, it's a Penta. It's a Volkite, it's a Penta.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be like, oh, it's sort of a plasma pistol.
Yeah.
That isn't the DNA of 30k, so I can totally understand how that's going to cause some issues.
It was bad.
But I'll, to bring it back around to the good stuff, if you are about to embark upon a heresy journey, I suppose obviously you have no skin in the game, you don't already have an army, is it therefore a little bit, to learn it all from fresh is maybe a little bit easier, I suppose, because you could kind of jump right in, or?
I think it's the perfect time to start, hint, hint. Because if you don't have an army, you're not going through the stress and the sadness and all the mixed emotions of having to snap things off or not being able to use them.
Yeah.
So you're starting fresh, you know exactly what there is, you've got a blank canvas and the rule sets, seriously, like I'm really happy. I was, when I opened the book, I still haven't played the game, and I saw the things, the monstrosities they had done to I was like,
oh no.
I hope the rules is good.
Yeah.
Yes.
If not, this is just going in the bin.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that a lot of people would just say, I'm staying on second.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the more I played, I'm like, thankfully, the rule set is like, I'm really enjoying it.
Oh, the mission's
That's
good. The game
There's only 3
enjoyable to
missions.
play?
There's only 3 missions in the book right now, but how you play the game is completely different. So again, we're going to go too much in, but there's like Vanguard and Line. So apart from scoring objectives, which everything can score, which wasn't a thing before.
Oh wow, okay.
Only Line score before?
Only Line, which is massive. Big fan, because when I sometimes played a bit more competitively, I'm like, okay, so you've got 3 Line, I'm just going to delete those 3 Line, and then you're not going to score anymore.
Yes.
Right. So now everything can score, which is great. Big shout out for them for doing that. But there's other ways of scoring even more. So what was Line before now get extra perks.
Right.
So a tactical squad has Line 2. So if you get an objective and the objective is worth 1 point, you add those 2 that the Line brings. So you score 3 points for it.
Oh, sweet. Okay,
That's
cool.
huge.
Yeah, that's cool.
huge.
Yeah, it's huge. It's
Big
I like
incentive
that.
to take Line.
You actually score more points for taking them. rather
One of the
than
things I like most is that that entices people to bring heresy armies.
Yes.
Put boots on the ground. 80 tactical squads just swarming the board. It really looks like proper Heresy.
The legions.
Yeah, and then there's Vanguards, which is another thing they've done. So all those elite units, which are normally just there to like special missions and kill stuff.
Yeah.
Those have Vanguard. So if you take something off an objective, you score points.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, you can only score a maximum of 1 point for objectives if you're on. So even if the objective is worth 5 points, a Vanguard unit can only get 1.
Yeah.
But obviously, if they kill something, that's their primary mission, like a veteran squad or something, they get whatever the Vanguard is. So if they can shoot or kill or make them run, you get Vanguard. So the game's just completely changed.
Kind of a bit wide, kind of broken open in that sense. You've got loads of flexibility.
Lots of flexibility.
It sounds fun.
It sounds
great,
fun.
right?
The more we play, obviously, the beginning you're not having as much fun because you're basically going through all the rules and stop.
Yeah.
Now that we know the rules I would say quite well, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun, and I was really stressing about it not being fun.
Alice, I mean, right, to round us out then, I am on the precipice of falling into the depths of heresy, right? But
Heretic!
I mean, I'm this close to buying lots of Imperial Fist models. But genuinely for me, and I guess the audience that are excited about heresy, you said there, so it looks like a proper heresy army. Like what? I'm used to playing 40k, and I'm used to, in my head, what a 40k army would look like. For someone about to potentially embark upon something like 30k, what could I expect for the kind of things you'd look to get into a 30k army? Like, are you looking at massed infantry? Do you need lots of vehicles? Or does it really depend on the Legion, I suppose?
It depends. I don't think this edition, sadly, doesn't depend a lot on the Legion.
Okay,
Just because, again, like we spoke before, the rights of wars are a bit changed. And there's no other, so before we had the core rights of wars, which allowed you to build full tank armies and get perks for the tanks and stuff like that, and get like a tank commander to lead the army. That doesn't exist at the moment.
Okay, yeah.
They could introduce it maybe.
I do have faith that they have said that there's a lot of campaign books coming.
Okay.
And we have seen one already, and it feels like a bit of more flavors coming from those type of things.
Yeah.
So depends where they are. So depends where the campaign is or the book is. I think it'll be like if there's a type of battle campaign where it was fought with a lot of vehicles, I guess the tank commander will be in that campaign.
Yeah, if they go to like Talon or something, you might get all the
Talon
tanks
is
and stuff.
it's the perfect representative of that. Talon will probably have tank commanders.
Yeah, exactly right. Sense. Yeah.
So at the moment, it's basically what you want. You can build around anything you want. So if you are focused on having infantry, you can build an infantry list. You can mix it up. I personally think that a mix of everything is the way to go at the moment.
Yeah, so you want like a little bit of like tactical, you want some Terminators, maybe a Spartan.
Backlight firing.
Yes.
You know, it comes back to 40k. You know, you want a bit of everything.
Yeah.
You want the backline firing, you want the resilient units that are going to sit on objectives, you want the tanks, you want the dreadnoughts, so just
So you kind of want it to look like an army in that sense.
Exactly.
So you have everything has its little role, and then if you do want the more Legion-specific things, then you can kind of splash out on
add
those.
to that, yeah.
And then maybe build up to purchasing a Primarch. But it's a whole different kettle of fish, right? Yeah, that sounds. I mean, it sounds super exciting. I think it's something I'm dangerously close to.
Yeah.
Loot spending.
I mean, I'd love to make my world easier.
I'll never financially recover from this.
You were excited. I was taking my models out for tomorrow's game, and he was like,
seeing those Imperial Fists. Also, it's a gorgeous army, man. And I was just looking at it, and I was like, oh no, this is so dangerous.
Well, I want to deploy my Carib disc because I've painted a Carib disc. I'd have to paint the red-blue. That's
you don't have to. Late Heresy is red and white.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. So our army is red and red and white.
He's back in.
Our army is red and white, whereas Late Heresy is when it started changing.
Yeah. Okay.
That's very
exciting. Then I could use my Carib disc.
Yeah. Definitely use it. Yeah. You've got dreadnoughts.
Yeah.
You've got box dreads.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Use them all.
So can I? Well, I can't. You can't do a full dread drop pod army anymore, though. Sadly, can you? Unless it's like
no. And it's non-existent.
Yeah.
Thinking about how you would build it is at the moment, again, it's non-existent.
Yeah, they might.
So is it that thing? Yeah, I guess like more these sort of detachments, or I don't know how they're referring to them in the core rules, but I guess like
detachments.
Yeah, detachments. So that the campaigns might release more of these, I suppose. I guess we'll just wait to see on that, I suppose.
Yeah.
Final question then. If you have to pick a Legion, what is your favourite 30k Legion? I know this is like picking between all your children.
I'm a loyalist at heart. Like whenever I'm playing Loyalists, I feel like a better person. When I play Traitors, I'm just being forced to play
Finally, everyone here is a dirty traitor.
I was playing like Night Lords the other day. I'm like, I just feel dirty. I just like, so it didn't. So
you're Crimson Fists in 40k.
I'm Crimson Fists in 40k. I think like Fists is I have a soft spot for Space Wolves as well.
Yeah.
But I think like Fists is all the way. I've from a very young age, I started with Fists. I went into Crimson Fists as my main 40k army, so it just has to be Fists, doesn't it? Yeah.
I knew I liked you. Yeah, that's super cool. I mean, yeah, I think obviously I'd probably now, if I'm going to do it, I think it would be Fists. I'd love to dabble in White Scars, but I think it'd have to be Fists.
Yeah, he would be Night Lords or Blood Angels.
Yeah, Night Lords. You know what? I'd pick World Eaters. Would be my Traitor Legion over Night Lords. I love the Night Lords, just like I love the Word Bearers, because I think they're really
proper villains.
They're proper villains.
Like you.
Like me, but I play like a World Eater. I love playing.
But that's why I'm saying Blood Angels.
Yeah, but that's it. My Loyalist army, like my favourite chapter is Blood Angels. Always was, always will be. In 40k, my favourite army is Grey Knights because they
and Blood Angels in 30k are like vicious.
Yeah. I like
they
that.
want to get stuck in.
I like that.
Yeah, man.
I like that.
That's very cool. I mean, look, this has all got me very excited. I'm about to make some terrible financial decisions. But thank you so much for joining us, Pardo. This has been an absolute pleasure. But yeah, do head over to On Demand for the gruesome twosome chat. We'll see how that goes. But we will be back soon with some heresy. I think if the wicked ways of the warp line up, it should be this coming weekend.
Yeah, we've got this weekend. And I think I said it would be following Tuesday, but I think the on-demand game with you versus Fletcher is the following Friday on demand.
Very exciting. But yeah, stay tuned for that. Obviously, the schedule will be coming out, which will let you know exactly when those things are happening. But until next time, I've been James Jordan, aka The Bard. You have been Lawrence Baker, the Spider, and we have been joined by, not Captain, Praetor Pardo. There we go.
That's got a ring to it.
It's got a real ring
People are starting to say it now. I might need to change my Instagram tag now.
You have to.
It's got to happen.
You can't be Captain, you got to be Praetor Pardo. Come on.
It might happen.
Well, that power alliteration. Thank you very much for joining us. We have been Tabletop Tactics, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.